All right, y'all. So another mass tragedy took place. This is literally just this morning. So Monday, April 10th. It says suspect who killed four in mass shooting at Louisville bank, believed to be a former employee. So let's just watch this, and then I'll give you my opinion and my thoughts on this.
I want to play for everyone what a moment when you can hear shots ringing out and you can hear the initial response with what appears to be law enforcement or security or someone running through this video. Let's watch this one more time together.
So you can hear the cops saying, active shooter at the bank, get out of your car. Man, that's a terrifying situation to be in. Absolutely. I used to work at a bank, and I don't know. I always used to think like, man, I wonder what would happen if like we got robbed or something, or somebody came in upset or something like that. But you never would really think that a former employee would come back and do something like this. Now, a lot of people are already going to say, well, this is why we need to ban guns, right? This is why we need to get rid of all the guns. And then that's going to, make things like this never happen again, or at least reduce it, which I think is an absolutely ridiculous statement. But it seems like this current administration, and I don't want to get overly political, but whatever, we're going there, right? It seems like this current administration, that's one of their primary concerns. That and making sure that everyone on earth is on board with trans people is like their primary concerns. Banning guns and making sure that you and me and everyone else and our children all want to be trans. That's like the primary concern of this administration. It seems like, I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like. But let's read this article. This is article from CNN. I don't really read CNN or watch CNN anymore. I used to back in the day, but let me see what they're talking about. It says a gunman opened fire at a bank in downtown Louisville, Kentucky on Monday morning, killing 4 people and sending 9 to the hospital before he died by gunfire at the scene. Louisville Metro Police Chief Paul Hemfrey said the lone gunman is believed to be a former employee of the bank. He said the mass shooting began at the Old National Bank on East Main Street at about 8:30 a.m., about 30 minutes before the bank opens to the public. Wow. So while they're doing their opening procedures, he's running in and offing his former, or her, I don't know, is it a guy or a girl? I just assume it's a dude most times because that's like the majority of these cases, but I don't know. But this individual, while they're doing their opening procedures at the bank, is offing former coworkers. Absolutely insane. And like, I'm going to go back to the gun thing because, in this article they said it was like an AR style rifle. Where did they put that at? So here they go. They said the shooting is just the former spasm of mass gun violence, a uniquely American phenomenon. There have been at least 145 mass shootings in the U.S. this year, according to data by Gun Violence Archive, which, like CNN, defines a mass shooting as one in which at least 4 people are shot, excluding the shooter. 2 law enforcement sources said that the shooter, at least at one time, worked at the bank. And it said that the gun used in the shooting was an AR-style rifle. A federal law enforcement source told CNN the AR-15, a semi-automatic rifle, is the most popular sporting rifle in the U.S., and about 24.6 million people have owned an AR-15 or similar style rifle. The AR-15 and its offshoots have been the weapon of choice in many of the most heinous mass shootings in recent memory, including Sandy Hook, Aurora, Colorado, San Bernardino, Buffalo, Nashville just 2 weeks ago. There's a big push that they want to, that the solution to this is simply banning this AR-15 style, which you already know how I feel about that. That's not the solution. You want to keep putting all this evilness in front of what we actually need. What I mean by that is we want to make sure that everyone knows about, trans people and that everyone's on board with that. We want to make sure that everyone is on board with drag queens and everyone's on board with them going to schools and reading books to children. We want to make sure that all of these secondary and, in my opinion, evil and wicked agendas are pushed to the forefront of our society, but we don't want to actually address what Americans really need. We need to get closer to Jesus. We need to understand that this life is very short and that we are all going to pass away. And that if you do not know Jesus, if you don't have your faith in Jesus, you're going to hell. We need to get back to a place where, as a nation, we fear God as opposed to just glorifying ourselves. Because what happens is we get to a point in society where we think that if we just simply ban these AR-15 style guns, then everything's going to be okay. Nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody's going to get hurt. No one's going to get killed. Everything's going to be okay. But that couldn't be further from the truth, because evil people are going to find a way to do evil things. It's in their nature. It's who they are. Regardless of if they have access to a gun or not, we need to address the evilness that is running rampant in society. Because a person who's filled with the Holy Spirit, a person who fears God, a person who genuinely loves other people, a person who puts others before themselves is not going to go around taking people's lives. That's just not how things work. Yesterday was Resurrection Day, and this verse came to my mind. It's John 16. This is actually verse 33. But I'm going to start a little bit before that just to give you some context. So this is John 16, verse 33. Verse 16. So John 16:16. And I think this goes along with what we were talking about, because, and this, I talked about this on the podcast with me and Elliot, and that's going to be coming out pretty soon. I'm super excited for y'all to see that. But I talked about this on the podcast is like, excuse me, I'm sick. There's a lot of like disgusting stuff going on like in my throat and my chest right now. That's why I keep coughing like a cat trying to get a hairball or something. Like I'm trying to figure it out. All right. But the reason why I want to show you this verse is because there's always going to be a lot of evil and wicked things that happen here on this earth. And Jesus tells us this from his own mouth, that there's going to be trials, there's going to be sorrows, but not to lose hope, not to lose faith. Just because there's things that are going on this earth that we might not understand, people are losing their lives, children are losing their lives, do not lose hope. Do not lose hope. And when we see a situation like we're seeing in Louisville, Kentucky, or just across the entire nation, there's a lot of things that we can point to and be like, oh my gosh, like, what are we doing? Where is society going? Where is this world going? Where are we headed? But don't lose hope. And that's why I want to read you this verse, just to give some encouragement. So John 16:16, I'm gonna read it all the way down just to give some context. It says, sadness will be turned into joy. It says, in a little while, you won't see me anymore. So this is Jesus talking. He's telling the disciples, in a little while, you won't see me anymore. But a little while after that, you will see me again. Some of the disciples asked each other, what does he mean when he says, in a little while, you won't see me, but then you will see me, and I am going to the Father? And what does he mean by a little while, quote unquote? We don't understand. Jesus realized they wanted to ask him about it. So he said, are you asking yourselves what I meant? I said, in a little while, you won't see me, but a little while after that, you will see me again. I tell you the truth. You will weep and mourn over what is going to happen to me, but the world will rejoice. You will grieve, but your grief will suddenly turn to wonderful joy. And it will be like a woman suffering the pains of labor. When her child is born, her anguish gives way to joy because she has brought a new baby into the world. So you have sorrow now, but I will see you again. Then you will rejoice, and no one can rob you of that joy. At that time, you won't need to ask me for anything. I tell you the truth, you will ask the Father directly, and he will grant your requests because you use my name. You haven't done this before. Ask using my name, and you will receive, and you will have abundant joy. Wow. I have spoken of these matters in figures of speech, but soon I will stop speaking figuratively, and I will tell you plainly all about the Father. Then you will ask in my name. I am not saying I will ask the Father on your behalf, for the Father himself loves you dearly because you love me and believe that I came from God. Yes, I came from the Father into the world, and now I will leave the world and return to the Father. This last part is what I wanted to read. It says, then the disciples said, at last you are speaking plainly and not figuratively. Now we understand that you know everything. There's no need to question you. From this, we believe that you came from God. Jesus asked, do you finally believe? But the time is coming. Indeed, it's here now when you will be scattered, each one going his own way, leaving me alone. Yet I am not alone because the Father is with me. I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart because I have overcome the world. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart because I have overcome the world. You know, as believers, we're going to face a level of persecution. We're going to have a lot of trials. We're going to lose loved ones. We're going to see things on the earth that cause us grief, that cause us pain, that just doesn't sit well in our spirit. Many trials, many sorrows, but take heart because I have overcome the world. We have an everlasting hope. We have an everlasting hope. And, you know, it's my prayer that everyone on this earth realizes that that everlasting hope is Jesus Christ. Now, the sad part about it is not everyone is going to come to that realization. Some people are going to pass away without knowing him, without putting their faith in him, and they're going to go to hell. That's just a reality. But let's not forget, as Christians, and maybe you might be someone who's not a Christian, but you're just watching this video, we do have an everlasting hope. Life does not end after we leave this earth. If you know Jesus Christ, that is, if you have faith in Jesus Christ, once you leave this earth, it's just the beginning of everlasting joy, as the scriptures put it. So I'm not saying just to live in the clouds and just, you know, think bad things are going on. People are losing their life. Children are losing their life. The world is becoming more wicked, more evil. The world is becoming more antichrist. I'm not telling you just to live in the clouds and just ignore all of that, but I'm telling you not to let it bog you down. Don't let the news bog you down. Don't let it cause you to be depressed. Don't let it cause you to lose your faith. Don't let it stop you from sharing the gospel. Don't let it stop you from remembering what is truly important. So, I mean, what do y'all think? Do you think they're going to ban this weird transition, right? But just going back to the story real quick. Do y'all think they're going to ban these weapons? Do you think that's going to be an actual solution? Or are you on the side that I'm on, where it's like people are going to be evil either way? So let me know what you think. Turn on your post notifications. So last part, turn on your post notifications. I don't know why. I feel like I know that my videos have not been going out. Even to people who have their notifications turned on, they have not been going out. So maybe turn it on, turn it off. And if you've never turned them on before, just hit that little bell icon and then you can turn on your notifications. Yeah, that's it, y'all. I'm out.